Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, Mystic Magic. In today's pick a card reading, we are going to be finding out what breakthrough you've been looking for. So this message is intended to bring you clarity, to bring you liberation and empower you to move forward in an area of your life or in your life in general where you've been feeling stuck or confused or unsure of what to do next. Keep in mind this is a general reading, so take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. Remember that tarot is a tool that reads the current energy, and energy is always changing, so remember that you always have free will and the power to create change. I have 3 groups for you to choose from today. Over here on group number 1, we have the clear quartz crystal. On group number 2, we have the Lapis Lazuli. And on group number 3, we have the rainbow Moonstone. So feel free to pause the video if you need some more time figuring out which pile or piles you're the most drawn towards. And then once you've chosen, you can scroll down to the description box or the pinned comment and skip ahead to your reading. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, group 1. If you chose the clear quartz, this is going to be a reading all about the breakthrough that you've been looking for. So let's go ahead and reveal what card you chose. And you have evolve into your complexity. When I was tuning into your energy before turning on the camera, I was literally hearing the song I Want to Break Free by Queen. And it's so interesting that this group has the clear quartz crystal, and in the image we can see this eye right on the octopus's crown and right above its crown as well. I feel like this group has really been wanting to step into their fullest potential. I see you wanting to close the gap between you and your higher self, or a more evolved version of you who's living the life that you dream of. This would be the version of you that when you daydream about certain goals or desires that you have, that you really yearn for, that are the capstone accomplishments that you want to achieve in your life, this is the version of you that you're really wanting to connect with. And I'm here to tell you that this version of you wants to connect with you too. I feel like those of you who chose this group are such multidimensional beings. I mean, in reality, we all are, but some of us are more connected to our complexity than others. Some of us are more willing to explore all of the different aspects of ourselves. I feel like this group isn't afraid of their shadows. I feel like you're actually quite intimately aware of your shadow. I feel like you're also very aware of your light. You know what you're good at. You know what your skills are. You know what makes you unique. You know what makes you shine. You know what your fears are. You know what's holding you back. And sometimes having all of this awareness can lead us to feel really stuck, because there's just so much information that we know and that we have. And it's a lot to really process all of that information, to process all of these different aspects of ourselves, especially parts of ourselves that feel very polarizing. it can be hard to understand how to integrate those together and how to allow both of these polarizing aspects of ourselves to share the spotlight. I feel like this group is learning how to embrace all of these different aspects of themselves. It's no longer just black and white for you. You're really trying to embrace the gray area of who you are and realizing that you're not just one thing, you're not just one way, but you're many different ways. And I can see this sometimes causing a bit of an identity crisis, because some days you feel like you're one person, and then some days these other aspects of your personality or your psyche or your being come to the surface and you feel like you're another person and you don't really know like which is the true me, which is the real me. So I'm here to tell you that all of it is true, all of it is real. You are all of these things, and you're really learning how to harmonize all of these different aspects and find a way to balance them so that you can live in harmony. It's almost like having all of these tools in your tool belt, and it's just about learning when's the best time to use certain tools, when's the best time to be that really confident magnetic person, or when's the best time to deep dive into the subconscious and do shadow work, when's the best time to be compassionate and receptive and in our feminine energy, and when's the best time to take action and be a leader and stand firm in who you are. So there's a lot going on with this group. I'm going to start pulling some tarot cards for you. Spirit, what is the breakthrough that group 1 has been looking for, please? Like, I feel like not only are you so aware of yourself, but you're also so aware of your surroundings, your environment, the people around you. I feel like you just see everything and you're taking in and processing so much information that it can be hard for you to even function. And so something that I'm getting is that it'll be really important for you to start setting boundaries with yourself, to start setting boundaries with your energy, so that you're not constantly taking in so much stimuli and energy from your environment and from those around you. It's already hard enough, processing our own energy and our own thoughts and our own emotions, but when we start taking on everybody else's and everything that's happening in our environment and the things that we're picking up on social media and television and music and the books that we're reading and the food we eat, remember, everything is energy, and everything you interact with is an exchange of energy. So it'll be important for you to reflect on, what am I thinking the most about? Where is my energy going? Where am I investing all of my emotions into? Do you find yourself thinking a lot about the past? Do you find yourself focusing a lot on the future? Are you constantly being drawn to thinking about certain people or certain situations? And how can we bring that energy back into us? Spirit, what is the breakthrough that group 1? Thank you. Okay, we have Temperance. What is the breakthrough group 1 has been looking for, please? We have the 8 of Wands. What is the breakthrough? Oh my. Okay. And we have the Two of Cups. On the back of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. Under that was the Chariot. Okay. Okay, I think you can see the cards now. Your soul has been wanting to break free from certain limitations that you've been putting on yourself consciously or subconsciously. Now, these could be, fears or limiting beliefs or insecurities that you've picked up on, that have been projected onto you, or that you've placed on yourself. And now I understand why that song was coming through at the beginning. I Want to Break Free by Queen. And it's just displayed so coherently here with the Eight of Wands and the Eight of Swords being on the back of the deck. It's like, this is what you feel like. This is what you've been feeling like. You've been feeling like you've been trapped or stuck, that you don't really know which way to go. But the truth is that you've been downloading so much information, so much energy, and your soul does know the way forward. And deep down, you know the way forward too. But right now, you're going through this process of really just learning and understanding all of these different aspects of who you are. This is a time of experimenting and trying new things and being really open-minded and receptive to the opportunities that come your way and to the opportunities that you can create for yourself. You've been through so much and you've already have grown so much. This is why you're such a complex, multidimensional person, because you've had such a vast array of life experiences, both positive and negative. You've had to grow a lot. You've had to learn a lot. You've had to release a lot. You've had to move on a lot. And looking back on your life, you can identify these different eras where you were just a completely different person, showing up in the world in a completely different way in completely different circumstances. And now here you are in this new place with a completely new mindset, with what feels like a completely new personality. And I understand how that can be confusing. But the truth is that you're growing into who you've been this whole time, underneath the surface, underneath all of these layers. There's a feeling of homecoming. There's a feeling of really closing the gap, because I feel like this energy here with this eye up here in the yellow representing your higher self, I feel like it is coming in closer to you and you are raising up to meet it, and the two of you will meet in the middle. It's this, it also kind of feels like maybe you astral project a lot. Even if you don't, what I'm getting is that, like, when you astral project, a lot of the times the soul will leave a cord attached to the body as a way to find itself back to you. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on right now, is you're finding your way back to yourself. And really what you're learning here is that everything you've been looking for is already inside of you. That the more you seek outside of yourself, the further away from the truth you are. And as you go inwards and you seek what you're looking for inside of you, you will realize that You've been those things all along. You've had those qualities all along. Everything that you're looking for, you already are. You already are those things. It's just about allowing the illusion to fall away. It's not that you need to become confident. It's not that you need to become healthy. It's not that you need to become abundant. It's not that you need to become joyful. You are those things inherently. You are those things inherently. It's about shedding the perspective that you are not those things. It's about shedding the perspective that in order to be those things, you have to go and seek and do and try and make it happen and force it. When in reality, all you have to do is fall back within yourself and connect to that feeling inside of you. So whatever it is that you're looking for, confidence, joy, peace, health, balance, creativity, it's already in you. And if you close your eyes and connect to your heart space and you focus on that feeling and you let it grow bigger and bigger and bigger, you'll find that there it is. And all you had to do is go within you. And that's all you ever have to do to connect to that feeling. And that's all you have to do to embody that. So if you find yourself in a very uncomfortable point of your life, if you are in transition, if you are between stages, if some things have ended but new things haven't yet begun, it's because you're growing. It's because you have a decision to make. Where are you going to go next? What are you going to embody? Who are you going to become? Are you going to move backwards into this version of you that remains stuck? Or are you going to close the gap between you and your highest self, between you and your potential, and step into your full power and allow yourself to move forward with confidence, with clarity, with passion, with conviction? Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. You're releasing and closing out so many big cycles. You are unblocking so many things that have been deeply rooted within you, possibly even that have been rooted within your ancestry. You've transmuted so much of your own energy and of the energy around you. People you interact with, or like I said, through your ancestry. And this is no easy job. And it's often a thankless job too. So I'm here to say congratulations, Group 1. You're doing it. You've done it. It's already done. Allow yourself the time and space to heal, to flow, to step back and receive, to let life show you who you are. Because you already know on the inside. And once you connect to that knowing, to that truth, you'll see it reflected outside of you too. So when you get these ideas or these little inspirations, you have these daydreams or these visions of different things you want to experience or do, or people you want to connect with, or places you want to go, that is your higher self trying to show you your potential. That is your higher self trying to show you this is who you're meant to be. This is who you can be. And then it's up to you to take that action. And that is how you close the gap. But taking action without the vision just leads us going around and around in a circle. So don't feel rushed. Take the time that you need. Allow yourself to explore all of these different aspects of yourself, knowing that none of them are wrong and all of it is right. You were gifted with these complexities for a reason. You're meant to explore them. You're meant to play. You're meant to be all of these different people and wear these different hats and play these different roles. Your life is not meant to be linear. Your life may look like a collection of different books or different movies, and that's okay. That's what your soul came here to experience. Your soul came here to experience studying in one industry for a period of time before changing careers and doing something completely different. Or maybe your soul came here to experience living in one country and then spending time traveling or moving somewhere abroad. Or maybe your soul came here to experience the feeling of disempowerment in order to fully understand your power and reclaim that. All of your life experiences are right. You're not off track. It is impossible to be off track. You're exactly where you are. You're doing exactly everything correct. There's nothing wrong about who you are or your life, your path, where you've been or where you're going. So allow yourself to bloom, however that looks. Whether you start 6 new hobbies this month and only 2 of them stick, it doesn't matter. You're meant to experience that. Group 1, these are all the messages I have for you. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Hey there, Group 2. If you chose the Lapis Lazuli, this is going to be your reading all about the breakthrough that you've been looking for. So let's go ahead and reveal what your card is. And we have focus on the big picture. So when I was tuning into your energy, I was hearing the song from High School Musical. I don't actually know what it's called, but the part that I was hearing was "No, no, no, stick to the status quo." And that song is all about limiting ourselves to a certain identity we may have taken on that maybe isn't fully true to us. Now, that doesn't mean that it's wrong, but maybe it's only one aspect of ourselves that we're showing. And we're hiding away all of these other beautiful aspects of ourselves that want to come free, but we don't want to disrupt what's going on around us by changing or by showing other sides of ourselves. I was also hearing in Italian, I was hearing buon provato, which means good try. So there is a message coming through here that your spirit guides and the universe is really proud of you. You've been doing a really good job lately. And they want you to know that your efforts have been noticed. They've been received. Maybe the people around you don't really tell you that you're doing a good job. And while we can't rely on external validation, it certainly helps a lot to hear that we're doing a good job. So your main card here, focus on the big picture. You're dreaming too small, Group 2. Your dreams could be so much bigger. And the solutions that you're looking for are right in front of you, but you're so close to the problem that you can't see it. And all it requires of you is to take a few steps back, to expand your view so that you can see the bigger picture. You may be too focused on the details right now, or too focused on one specific outcome, or too focused on something from the past or something that's happening right now. And it's blocking your vision. It's time to get out of your own way and surrender. I feel like there's a lot of tension in this group. I feel like we're clinging really hard onto something, maybe a certain outcome, or we just want things to go a certain way because we think that's the best that it can be. But the truth is that the universe has a much bigger plan for you. And it may not be exactly what you envisioned. But that doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. Right now, you may feel like you're walking through the darkness, or you're walking through the mist, through the unknown, and you can't really see what's going on around you. But when we don't know what's happening, or we don't know the outcome, we don't know where we're going, we don't know what's next, it's easy to be scared. But the truth is that when we don't know, that means the possibilities are endless. So maybe you've only been focusing on worst case scenarios, or you've been focusing on what your fears have been telling you. Maybe you've been focusing on what you don't want to experience because you're so scared of that happening. And you can shift your entire reality by choosing to shift your focus on what you actually do want to experience. When you allow yourself to zoom out a bit, and zoom out a bit more and a bit more and a bit more until you're seeing more and more of the picture. The way that I like to visualize this concept of zooming out and gaining a broader perspective is, you know, on Google Maps, how you can go into Street View, but then you can keep zooming out, and you see your whole neighborhood, and then you see your whole city. You see your province or your state, and you see the whole country, and then you see the continent, and then you see all of the continents and the oceans, and you're looking at the earth as a whole. And you can even keep zooming out more and more into space as the earth gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and it puts things into perspective. It makes our problems feel so much smaller, and it makes our dreams feel so much bigger. So ask yourself, where has my focus been going lately? And has it been going to a place that's actually serving me? Or have I been holding myself back unknowingly? I'm going to start shuffling your tarot. Spirit, what is the breakthrough that group 2 has been looking for, please? It's time for you to shift your perspective and to do what you came here to do. And you already know what this is. This group has such a strong energy, and our attention is like a magnifying glass. And when we focus on the things that we're afraid of, our fears just grow bigger and bigger until it's all we can see. And it leaves no room for us to feel joy or hope or excitement for the future, or it even makes us entirely forget our dreams, our desires, what we came here to do, what we want to do. So this is all about connecting back to the truth of who you are. We have the King of Wands. Yes, you are someone who has a great vision. You're a visionary. You're here to do great things. You're here to be a leader. You're here to inspire others. And don't think that just because right now you're stuck, or right now you've been going through a hard time, or right now you feel disempowered and afraid, that means you're not capable, or that you're not this person, because you are. I find that oftentimes the way that we come to embody the light is by walking through the darkness first. In order to understand the light, we must first understand the shadow. So you've already been doing that, or maybe you've already gone through that, and you've learned a lot. And now you're meant to become that lighthouse for others, to guide them to their own purpose, to their own destiny. And you do this by showing them your life as an example. What is the breakthrough group 2 has been? Okay, we have the Ace of Swords. What is the breakthrough that group 2 has been looking for? Okay. We also have the Knight of Wands and the High Priestess. On the back of the deck, we have Justice. You are definitely between worlds right now. You're literally crossing over from the darkness into the light, just as I was saying. And it's through this journey, it's through this unknown that you will find the clarity, that you'll find the new perspective, this higher perspective. Things are changing for you, group 2. You may not feel like it. You may feel stuck. You may feel confused. But don't let what's happening around you fool you. You know that things aren't always what they seem. You may feel or have felt for a while energetically that something is coming. And you're right, there's a change in the wind. Things are shifting. That feeling is true. Don't listen to that fear in your head that tells you that things will always be the same, that you're always going to be stuck here, that you're always going to be in this situation that drains you or leaves you unfulfilled. If it makes you feel bad, it's not true. The truth will always bring you comfort and relief. You've learned and grown so much, and you're going to continue to learn and grow because you are here to show people how to walk through the darkness successfully and how to come through the other side. You're here to show people that everyone is capable of being strong. There's this quote that's coming to mind. I'm not sure who it's by, but it says that you were given this mountain to show others how to climb it. You are the reference point that others will look to so that they can overcome their own mountain. So today, when you're listening to this, you're being offered this new perspective. And Spirit is saying, reach out and grab it. Don't be afraid to explore your depths. Don't be afraid to ask what the truth is. Confront it head on, with bravery, with courage, with strength, with conviction, because that's who you are. Don't let your fear make you forget who you are. You know who you are. I feel it'll be very important for this group to do work on the solar plexus. This is all about our identity, who we are. And sometimes when our solar plexus is imbalanced, it can cause us to feel really disempowered, really fearful. But none of this has been a waste of time. You may feel like you're going on a merry-go-round, round and round, trying to overcome the same issue over and over again, but this is an illusion too, because you're not going in circles, you are spiraling. And every time we go around this loop, you're looking at the same problem from a higher perspective. And there will come a time that you reach the top. There will come a time where you finally step off of this merry-go-round, where you've learned what you needed to learn and you've fully integrated this. And now you can take this wisdom and move on. You can apply that wisdom going forward. You can share that wisdom with others. Wisdom that a lot of others need, that they don't yet have access to, just like how at one point you didn't have access as well. So if you feel uncomfortable, the message is good. You are meant to feel uncomfortable, because discomfort is what gets us moving. Discomfort is what is going to push you to evolve into the next version of you that your dream life demands of you, that your path demands of you. And you are fully capable. You are that version of you. There are 2 mantras that are coming through that would be really beneficial for you to repeat to yourself, whether you do this through meditation, whether you do this in the morning looking at yourself in the mirror, whether you say it to yourself in the shower, whether you just repeat it to yourself in your head or out loud. But I want you to focus on your solar plexus. This is the energy center between the navel and the heart. It's yellow, and I want you to envision this beautiful, bright yellow orb or beautiful yellow flower blossoming in this space. And I want you to focus on that energy. I want you to focus on your power. And I want you to repeat to yourself, I know who I am. I know who I am. You can also repeat to yourself simply, I am. I already am. I already am. You are meant to succeed in this life. You are meant to achieve. You are meant to reach your goals, your desires. Those visions that you have of the future, those big crazy dreams you have that sometimes you're even too afraid to even allow yourself to daydream about it, let alone take action on it. You're meant to achieve those things. And you're going to achieve them. The path is already there. All you have to do is align yourself with it. Allow things to flow. Allow the energy to take you there. You already are this King of Wands. You already have what it takes. This group, it's all about taking back and reclaiming your power. To acknowledge your fears, but not to let fear stay in the driver's seat. Don't let fear dictate where you're going next. You are in the driver's seat. You are in control. You decide the narrative that you tell yourself, the story that you tell yourself. And yes, it is really hard to break certain habits, to change the way you think or certain beliefs that you have, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. You can. You are, you will. Don't lose sight of the big picture. Stay focused on what you want. Stay focused on what you want. Because remember, our attention is like a magnifying glass. And as soon as you switch your attention to what it is that you want to experience, to a goal, to a dream, to a desire, the more you focus on that and let that feeling fill you up and let that be the fuel that powers you forward, you're going to see how quick that becomes your reality. So group 2, this is the message that's come through for you today. I love you so, so much. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye! Hey there, group 3. If you chose the Rainbow Moonstone, this is going to be a reading all about the breakthrough that you've been looking for. So let's go ahead and reveal the card that you chose. And we have Perception. When I was tuning into your energy, I was hearing a quote that I'm pretty sure it was from a John Green book. I think it was from Looking for Alaska. But the quote is, "I go to seek a great perhaps." I feel like you've been wanting to explore. Your soul has come here to explore, to find something bigger. And to me, this feels less about exploring the world around you, but more about exploring yourself, exploring your consciousness, elevating, upgrading, awakening, raising your vibration, enlightening yourself. But maybe there are some things that you refuse to see. Your attention is being called to your inner world. What is the story that you're telling yourself? What are the thoughts that come up over and over again that over time you've come to believe? Because these thoughts that trigger emotions, that trigger our thoughts yet again in this loop, over time it creates our belief system and it creates our reality. It creates the lens through which we see the world, and sometimes the way that we see things isn't at all how things actually are. Sometimes our fears lead us to believe that things are worse than they are, or that that negative experience is going to happen again, or things are going to fall apart because it fell apart for someone else. Group 3, it's time to pull your head out of the sand and to look at things for how they really are, not for what your thoughts have been telling you the way that it is. And that can be difficult. Sometimes it does feel safer to just live in the world that we imagined is around us, because to accept something different would mean that we would have to change. And to change means to let go, and it is scary to let go because that's our comfort zone. That's what we're used to. And if we let that go, then what do we have? Well, group 3, you have yourself. But maybe you've become so fixated or so attached to something outside of you that you believe that if you don't have this, then there's nothing, and that couldn't be further from the truth, because you always have yourself, and within yourself is everything. Sometimes Even though we don't like being stuck, or we don't like our situation or our circumstances or our habits, the things that we think or the things that we do, sometimes we keep ourselves there because we've become so comfortable feeling like a victim rather than empowering ourselves to do what needs to be done, because we believe that all the power lies outside of us, that we're not capable or we're not supposed to, or someone else is gonna come along and save us or change something. But you are the change, group 3. You are the person you've been looking for, waiting to save you. And it's all about shifting your perspective, your perception, rather than looking at everywhere and everyone else besides you for the answers, for the solution. Rather than taking the accountability, sometimes we choose to pass that off to others because it's easier. And you're right, change is hard. It is hard, but it's only as hard as we allow ourselves to believe it is. You're not beyond saving, you're not beyond hope. That is just a story that you tell yourself. And you can choose to put that book down and open a new one that instead tells you that you are capable and that you can make those changes, that you have that power or that skill or the audacity to do that. Things aren't as black and white as you may think that they are. Things are just however we believe them to be. What is the breakthrough? Thank you. We have the 8 of Wands. What is the breakthrough group 3 has been looking for, please? The 10 of Swords and the 5 of Swords. We have Death on the back of the deck. Sometimes there's just so much noise around us, distracting us, pulling us in a million different directions, that it's hard for us to discern what our truth is, what the truth is. And sometimes the only way to have that clarity is to remove those distractions, to remove that noise, to take time in solitude, to disconnect from everything else and everyone else, and to get in touch with your own energy, your own thoughts, your own mind, your own emotions, your own desires, your own fears. Sometimes we don't realize how much we pick up from our environment or the people around us, but a lot of the times the things that we think and we feel and we believe aren't even ours. And we wonder why we go through life with so much pain and discomfort, and things don't feel good. And a lot of the time it's because we're not being true to ourselves, but we don't even know that. Group 3, you may be hanging on to a painful experience or narrative or habit or situation, a connection. And this may be something from the past. This may be something that's actually long gone from your reality, but the only thing that's keeping it alive is your attention and attachment to it. You may have been in survival mode for so long that you see no other way of being. That the only way that you can get out is to be selfish, and there's nothing wrong with being selfish. But sometimes in being selfish, we hurt ourselves more if we're not doing it from a place of love, if we're coming at it from a place of fear, and we cut other people off, or we block ourselves off from opportunities, or we stop allowing ourselves to grow. It hinders us. It makes us feel like we're shrinking. It makes us feel small. The only thing that's truly making you stuck is you. And that's hard to hear, and that can be hard to accept, but it's also so empowering, because that means that you are the one who can change that. And when you're the one who can change that, that means you're not waiting on anything or anyone else to happen first. You could do that right now. You can make that change right now. You can decide to let go right now. Because I'll tell you, there's so much newness that wants to come into your life, but you're not willing to see it. Maybe because it's too hard for you to believe that something good can come of where you are right now, or the path that you've been on. But the past doesn't dictate the future. You dictate the future by deciding what you want it to look like. And maybe you've been focused on the pain and the hurt for so long that you can't even imagine a future. And that's okay. Because you can always choose to start imagining a new life for yourself at any given moment. When you lean in with curiosity rather than fear, and allow your heart to really speak to you. Ask it, what would make me happy? What would I like to experience? And it's okay not to know. But the more you think about it, the more you explore, the more you get to know yourself beyond the stories you've been telling yourself time and time again, the more clarity that you'll have. And bit by bit, the more willing you'll be to take a step closer to this change that you so greatly desire but are so afraid to step towards. Because yes, change is hard and difficult and scary. It's hard to let go, but also it's painful and difficult and scary to remain stuck in a reality, in a narrative, in a situation that brings you pain too. So there's a choice to be made here. Would you rather the pain of staying stuck or the pain of growing? But know that the pain of growth is only temporary. But when you choose to stay somewhere that you know for sure doesn't feel good, then you always know that the outcome is going to be something that doesn't feel good, rather than giving yourself the opportunity for something new that could bring so much joy, that could bring healing, that could bring such a change in your life that even a year from now you could look back and say, wow, I am a completely different person living a completely different life. Even 1 month from now, 2 weeks from now, tomorrow, you could just wake up and decide that I'm an entirely new person and I'm going to explore that. I'm going to explore who I really am. underneath all of these layers of pain that I've been holding on to, all of these circumstances or memories or projections of others, I'm going to let that go bit by bit because I deserve to be free. I deserve to feel good. I deserve to feel joy and hope. I deserve to be healthy. And none of those things are out of reach for you. It's just that your mind will lead you to believe what you constantly feed to it. There are so many new opportunities that are wanting to come through, but there's no space for them to come through because of all of what you're holding on to, group 3. And this isn't the kind of change that is a one and done. It's okay to take your time. Take all the time you need. But all the things, all the good things that you see other people experiencing that you feel like you're not destined to feel or experience or have, you are. You are, and you can, and you will. You have to start telling yourself that. And the more you tell yourself that, over time, that will be the narrative that dictates the actions that you take. Even a neutral thought, a neutral belief will do so much for you if you feel that even a small, simple, positive thought or belief is too much or too far-fetched for you. Any little change is progress. And never underestimate the power of you, of your voice, of your story, of your narrative, of your thoughts, of your emotions. You will get to this point where you take all of that energy that comes from those thoughts and those emotions, that pent up energy that has been trapped within you for so long, and bit by bit you transmute that and you convert that into something that feels good. I want this group to start expressing gratitude daily. And you may be thinking to yourself, I have nothing to be grateful for. And I'm not here to undermine your situation or your circumstances or anything in your life that's gotten you to where you are now. But even the smallest thing, even a cup of coffee that you enjoyed, or the fact that it was sunny today, or maybe you slept really good last night, or you saw a funny meme that made you laugh, or you won a game that you played. Hold on to the feeling that gave you, that positive feeling. And every day, in the morning, when you first wake up, put your hands over your heart, close your eyes, and just hold on to that feeling until it washes over you, and go into that day with that feeling. And even if you lose that feeling, know that you can always come back to it because it is inside of you. It is not outside of you, and you always have access to it. So if you're feeling down, if you're feeling bad, if you're feeling afraid, close your eyes and put your hands over your heart and think of that one thing that makes you feel really good, that makes you feel grateful. And shift your perception into what you want to experience. Because it is your birthright to thrive. And it doesn't matter how dark it is now or how dark it has been, because even in these darkest moments, we still see the sun coming up over the horizon. And every day we can count on the fact that the sun is going to rise, no matter how dark the night before was. And the same is true with you. So group 3, this is a message that's come through for you today. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.